Woo! What's going on, guys? This is the aftermath, week 12. I want to say right away off the bat, though, I'm sorry I couldn't get the preview out. My phone was not working that day. I tried it like 5 or 6 times, kept shorting out, kept saying I didn't have an internet connection or whatever it was from my app. Hopefully, this one goes through, but this is the aftermath, week 12. Giants, 2 and 10, falling to 2 and 10. Fourth in the NFC East, Lions 7 and 4. Third in the NFC North still. The Lions won this game 27-34 in overtime. Part of the shocker right there. Those gritty Giants, man. They don't go away. I was gonna say this in my preview that they're a tough team. They play hard, but I actually thought we were gonna win by double digits. I really did. But the Lions almost fell for the trap game. They came really close, but they win a thriller in overtime to beat the Giants, thanks to guys like Gibbs and Hutchinson at the end. We'll talk about it. Now, injuries. The Giants, they're the road team. We go with them first. Linebacker Demetrius Flanagan fouls, neck injury, did not return. Hopefully he's okay. Then defensive tackle Dexter Lawrence. Don't know what the injury was, but he was limited on snaps a little bit into this game. And he was off the field on the big long run, the 69-yard run by, or whatever it was, by Jameer Gibbs to go ahead in overtime. Now the Lions wide receiver Khalif Raymond had an ankle injury, got late, I think in the third quarter, didn't come back, so we'll see what happens there. Stats, Giants, going to passing. Quarterback Jameis Winston, he was 18 for 36, 366 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 pick, and only sacked once, 50% completion percentage. Big yards for Jameis. His completion percentage was terrible, but he did have a lot of yards. Then wide receiver Gunnar Olszewski was 1 for 1, 33 yards and a touchdown pass that went to Jameis Winston. We'll talk about that in a bit. Derek Barnes, what are you doing there? And then running back Tyrone Tracy Jr., 20 carries for 62 yards, 3.1 yards a pop. Running back Devin Singletary, 14 for 47, 3.4 yards a pop. And Winston himself had 4 carries, 13 yards at 3.3. 122 yards on the ground for the New York Giants, so it wasn't a bad day there. Receiving, wide receiver Wan'Dale Robinson had a fumble, but he was 9 for 156. Career game for Wan'Dale Robinson, 17.3 yards a catch and 1 touchdown. Tight end Theo Johnson, 3 catches, 77 yards, 25.7 yards a catch, 5 targets. He is the Canadian kid. He is from my hometown. Went to Holy Names High School, went to Penn State. He's a good football player, and yeah, man, he's from where I'm from. Pretty cool. And he plays for my second favorite team, by the way, the New York Giants. Another thing too, that's another thing too that pissed me off that I couldn't do the preview. The Giants are my second team. I know it's frowned upon. A lot of people are like, you can't have a second team. Well, I do. So that's just too bad. And it's good to see that Theo had a good day there. He almost caught a touchdown pass too that went off his fingertips. Wide receiver Isaiah Hodgins, 2 catches for 42 yards, 21 yards a catch, touchdown, 6 targets. Running back Tyrone Tracy Jr., 3 catches, 68 yards, 22.7 yards a catch, 4 targets. Quarterback Jameis Winston had a catch for 33 yards a pop. Obviously, then that 1 catch and a touchdown, 1 target. Derek Barnes had him. Derek Barnes, come on, brother. Wide receiver Darius Slayton, 1 catch, 23 yards. Went to him right away, then didn't really go to him much afterwards. Now he's coming off an injury, though. 23 yards a catch on the other and 2 targets. And defensively for the Giants, safety Dane Belton had 9 tackles. Tackle for loss on a PD, pass deflection. Linebacker Bobby Ugarike was a guy that I was like, that I wanted everyone to keep an eye on. Not 8 tackles, a pass deflection. Cornerback Corey Black, 6 tackles. Linebacker Zaire Barnes, 5 tackles, 1 tackle for loss. Cornerback Drew Phillips, 5 tackles and a tackle for loss. Safety Javon Holland, 4 tackles, pass deflection, and an INT. Outside linebacker rookie Abdul Carter, 4 tackles, 3 quarterback hits. He had a couple offside penalties though. Defensive end, another rookie Darius Alexander, 4 tackles, 2 TFLs, 2 quarterback hits, and he also had 2 sacks. Defensive tackle Raheem Nunez Roche had 2 tackles, tackle for loss, and a sack. Quarterback hit. Should have had a penalty too for kicking Jared Goff in the head. I know it wasn't maliciously, it wasn't on purpose, but it was right in front of the referee, and he booted him right in the head. He was trying to do a celebration, and he ended up kicking him. I know it wasn't on purpose, but it should have been flagged. And then defensive tackle Dexter Lawrence did have a tackle and a quarterback hit. 6 tackles for loss, 3 pass deflections, 3 sacks, 7 quarterback hits for that defense alone. All in all, I thought they didn't do anything special. Didn't do anything special. They got the Goff a little bit, a couple times on those inside rushes, blowing up guys like Coyote Wasika. Gibbs kind of gave up a sack too, but that's not his fault. But it came from the inside. And then kick returner, wide receiver, gunner, Olszewski. 3 of them. He had 3 of them for 81 yards, 27 yards a pop. Punt returner was gunner Olszewski again, but he had 1 return for 0 yards. Kicker, Young Ho Koo. 2 for 2 on field goals, 44 long, 3 for 3 on extra points. Punter, Jamie Gillen. He had 3 punts for 40 yards average instead of 21 to the 44 long, 120 yards altogether. Now let's go to Detroit, passing the football. Quarterback Jared Goff, 28 for 42. I think it was 66% the completion percentage, 279 yards. 2 touchdowns, a pick, and he was sacked 3 times. I don't think Goff had a bad day. This fan base went after him again. I don't think it was that bad. Was he great? No. We had a lot of drops, man. I counted 6. And that was between 3 guys. St. Brown, J-Mo, and Brock Wright. So I don't know if there's any more than that. It was 5 or 6, 7. I don't know what it was, man. But I don't think Goff had a bad day. I'm not saying he had a great day, but he didn't have a bad day. Okay. Then running back Jahmyr Gibbs was an absolute superstar of the day. Player of the week, player of the month, whatever you want to give this guy. This guy's legit. 15 carries, 219 yards, 14.6 yards a carry, 2 touchdowns. He had a long of 69. That was the OT. Running back David Montgomery, 5 for 18, 306 yards. They had like 250 something yards rushing. 237, I think, to be exact. So they ran the ball extremely well. They didn't use Montgomery enough. Not that they really had to. They kind of mixed it up with passing, and they ran 20 times, passed 42 times. A little more passing, obviously. They should have ran, I thought, maybe a little bit more. You would think against one of the 31st ranked defense in the NFL, the Giants, run defense. But I can't get mad because the passing was working as well too. So you got to mix it up. This is not Madden. They're not going to run these guys into the ground. So I get that part of it. Receiving, wide receiver Amon-Ra St. Brown, 9 for 149 yards, 16.6 yards a catch. He had a touchdown, 13 targets, 2 drops. Again, he's got that beat up hand, guys. It looks like it's swollen around the thumb area, his thumb, his wrist. I don't know what it is, man. It's right there in the ball of his hand. If you go to one of his podcasts, there's a picture. You can actually probably Google it on the internet, man. Look for St. Brown's hand picture of him. He's sitting there like this doing a podcast, and he puts his hands up. You can see it. Now everyone's like, well, he should be sitting. He's not going to sit. It's not to the point where he should sit, but he is dropping passes every game. But he's still having big games. But you're not sitting a guy like that unless his arm is completely chopped off. I don't think that's an injury that's going to get any worse or better. If that's what it feels like, or he would be sitting. That's my guess, right? Okay. Then running back Jahmyr Gibbs had 11 catches, 45 yards, 4.1 yards a pop. At a touchdown, he had 3 on the day. For 2 rush, one passing, 12 targets. Wide receiver Khalif Raymond, 2 for 37, 18.5 yards a catch, 2 targets. Tight end Brock Wright, 3 catches, 29 yards, 9.7 yards a catch on 4 targets. He did a leap too, man, landing on his neck. I thought he broke his neck at one point. He's on now he's on the injury list, but I don't think he's going to miss. But he's got to be careful. Running back David Montgomery had 3 catches, 19 yards, 6.3 yards a catch on 3 targets. J-Mo, nothing across the board. He had 3 targets. He did have 2 drops, though. One of them I'm not going to really put on him because the defender made a kind of a good play and almost like, it looked like he even got his hand on it, but he kind of got in J-Mo's face, dropped the ball. J-Mo still got to concentrate and catch that, and then dropped another one. Isaac Tesla had a target or 2 as well, but they got to figure out, man, something with this offense. You can't just target St. Brown and Gibbs all day. 13 targets for St. Brown and 12 for Gibbs. I get that you got to get Gibbs involved, but you have to spread it around. The next guy was 4 targets. Brock Wright. Come on, man. you got to do a little bit better, Dan Campbell. And I'm just sitting here behind a desk. You know what I mean? Who am I? But it just, come on. It just feels like you got to get a little bit better. You can't get away with this against the Packers, I don't think. You got to mix it up. Defensively, linebacker Jack Campbell having an all-pro year, 11 tackles for loss, 1 tackle for loss. Quarterback Amik Robinson, 7 tackles, 1 pass deflection. He had a forced fumble that went out of bounds, though. Safety Brian Brandt, 7 tackles, pass deflection, 1 quarterback hit. I'm starting to get really, really tired of Brian Branch's antics. I love Brian Branch. I do. I almost got his jersey. I got a Gibbs jersey before the 219-yard rushing, by the way. My wife ordered it for me for Christmas like 2 weeks ago. I don't think it's come yet, but it's for Christmas. I'm not going to get it till Christmas. But Brian Branch, man, he had 2 or 3 penalties. Another helmet to helmet. The kid can't get out of his way, man. Come on, bro. Then a pass interference, and yet another one. Man, it's certain his antics, man. I love him as a player, but he just doesn't get out of his way. He's going to get fined again. Like, I don't know, is he going to get suspended? I don't think he's going to. You would have heard it by now. We're going into Tuesday. I'm doing this video late. But who knows? In safety, Thomas Harper, 6 tackles, 2 pass deflections, an INT. Defensive end, Aiden Hutchinson, 6 tackles, 2 tackles for loss. He has 6 quarterback hits, tied a franchise record for 6 quarterback hits in a game, in a huge sack at the end. I don't know why everyone's attacking Aiden Hutchinson, man. There's a lot of people in this fan base that are attacking Hutchinson. Oh, he didn't show up. He's not worth the money. Myles Garrett's outproducing. Myles Garrett is outproducing everybody. Myles Garrett, if you look at the first 6 weeks of the season, he didn't do much. His last month, he's acquired like 11 sacks, 12 sacks. He's 18 on the year, okay? So his are coming in bunches. He had like 3 this week, 4 2 weeks ago. He's just, he's turning it on. But stop, the comparison game, I think, is a little bit silly. Aiden Hutchinson is a playmaker for this football team, whether everybody wants to believe it or not. And I'm not just saying this because I'm a Michigan guy, okay? I'm not just saying it because I love the Wolverines. He has 8.5 sacks on the year. He's on board to get 11 or 12, 13, whatever he hits. He's comeback player of the year so far, I think. He had a broken leg last year. What does this fan base want? Then you got guys like Illuminor, the offensive tackle, the right tackle for the Giants, saying that he owned him the whole game. Bro, you didn't, because someone did a breakdown of he was on Andrew Thomas a lot as well, the other left tackle. And then Illuminor is the right tackle, saying that he didn't do shit against him. That's not true, bro. You beat Hutch a couple times, 100% you did. But a guy broke it down on Twitter. I should have wrote his name down. And he had a penalty against him. Illuminor had a penalty against him. And that mother effer was jumping offside almost every single time. He would get that leg kick drop back before Hutch even had time to go. And there was a couple times he held him. And I'm not trying to make excuses for Hutch. But he beat him a couple times. Hutch beat him a couple times. He drew the penalty. He drew 2 quarterback hurries that Winston threw incomplete. It's out there. Go look it up on Twitter. Go look it up. Google it. It's out there. This Illuminor guy's full of shit. He didn't own Aiden Hutchinson. I thought it was a pretty good battle, but I would probably give it to Hutchinson a day because he got beat at the end, bro. You got beat at the end on the big-time sack. And that's when superstars emerge. Non-stop motor all game, and he gets the game-sealing sack. Game was over. It was done. It was on 4th down. It was over. So come on. Then linebacker Derek Barnes, 6 tackles. Linebacker Alex Anzalone, 6 tackles. Nose tackle Roy Lopez, playing better every day, every week actually. 6 tackles, tackle for loss, and a pass deflection. Quarterback Rocky Sin, 2 tackles, pass deflection. 4 tackles for loss, 6 pass deflections, 7 quarterback hits, and a sack as a total for that defense. The defense did not play ball, guys. They really didn't, man. They made Jameis Winston look like Joe Montana. They made Wan'Dale Robinson look like Jerry Rice. You know, they didn't really play the run all that great. The average rushing for the Giants running backs were not great. I think 3.4 was the best, but over 122 yards on the ground. It was a bad day for the defense. It really was. DJ Reed just came back from injury. He looked kind of lost a little bit. Maybe he shouldn't have been on Wan'Dale Robinson as much. Meek wasn't really getting a job done. He made a big play at the end of the game, though. And a regulation where he reached over and swatted the ball back. But that was a good play. Nobody played that well. Nobody. Even Jack Campbell. He had a lot of tackles, but he wasn't great. The whole defense wasn't great. Hutch showed up at the end, though. And that's all that matters. But they need to be a little bit better, man. I don't know. It's starting to worry me. So, yeah. So kick return to running back Jacob Sailors, 5. He had 5 of them for 27.8 yards of pop. And Khalif Raymond had a big one for 44 yards, which was huge. Punt return, nobody. There was really nobody. The kicker for the Giants was kicking really well, kicking out of bounds, or they were doing fair catches, Detroit. So he did a really good job over there. That guy, Jamie Gillen, I think his name was. And kicker, Jake Bates, 2 for 2 in a field goal with a long 59-yarders that tied the ball game up in regulation. Tied it up, 59-yarder that looked like it was sailing right and then just curled back in. Got inside the pole. 59-yarder. 4 for 4 and extra points, too. Punter, Jack Fox, 5 punts with 200 yards. 40 yards a punt, inside the 20 like 4 times. He was on fire. He got a game ball from Dan Campbell. Gibbs got a game ball, and I think Hutch got the game ball. So, yeah. Let's go to team stats real quick, guys. Giants first. First downs, they had 25. Third downs, 8 for 16. Fourth downs, they were 1 for 3. They rushed the ball 122 times, passed for 395. Total yards, 517. Sacks, they had 3 sacks for 22 yards. 1 interception was thrown by Winston. Punts, 3 punts for 40 yards. Penalties, they had 7 penalties for 55 yards. Fumbles and fumbles lost. They had 1 fumble, no lost. Time of possession, 37 minutes, 11 seconds for the Giants. Now the Lions, 23 first downs, 5 for 12 on third downs, terrible. 0 for 0 on fourth downs, he didn't go for it once. 237 yards rushing, insane. 257 yards passing, decent. 494 yards total yards, that's really well, that's good. We had only 1 sack for 4 yards, but the biggest sack so far of Hutch's career. Pretty much. I wouldn't say his career, maybe, I guess. A game-sealing sack. He's probably had, I think he had that against Chicago his rookie year, second year too, though. But yeah, a big sack for Hutch, but the only sack. The only one. So that's bad too. And it's really bad too, guys, when I said the 7 quarterback hits by the defense for the Lions. 6 of those quarterback hits came from Hutchinson. And we're good, Brad Holmes, with that? We're good? On the defensive line? Come on, man. Who had the other quarterback hit? Branch. Not even a D lineman. A safety. That's terrible, man. That's terrible. Okay, the penalties. We had 9 penalties for 81 yards. That's ridiculous. Fumbles and fumbles lost, 0 and 0. No fumbles or lost. Time of possession, 28 minutes, 30 seconds. Giants had 37. They had almost, that's 9 minutes. They had 9 minutes, 9 minutes more time possession than us. So up next this Thursday, Thanksgiving Day game, guys, at home. Packers. Packers are what? What are the Packers, man? 8-3-1. Is that what the 9-10-11? Is that what they are? 7-3-1. Whatever they are. Yeah, 8-3-1. Something like that. They're second place in the division. You know, and their defense is relentless. And it's a 12:30 p.m. start. But let's go over this football game right away, guys. You know, in my preview that I wanted to say that I never got out. I thought the Lions were going to win by double digits. I really did. Even though looking at the Giants wins and losses, they only have a couple wins. They beat like the Chargers and the Eagles. So a lot of their losses are by single digits. They're a tough, gritty team. I thought we would have beat them by more. Winston hung in there. Their wide receiver, Wan'Dale Robinson, was phenomenal. Their O-line is very underrated. and they shut down the Lions. We don't have a pass rush. We don't. If it's Hutchinson or nobody else, and then you got to send 3 other linebackers. So it's not a good pass rush for Detroit, but that Giants offense owned the Lions. They owned us. They absolutely owned Detroit. I don't know what Detroit was doing defensively. I don't know if they were just sleeping, bad scheme, couldn't tell what was going on. The secondary looked confused. DJ Reed maybe shouldn't have been on some certain plays. Just coming back from that hammy injury. Meek wasn't great, but he made the big play in regulation. A couple stupid penalties on defense again, jumping off sides, late hits, 15-yard penalties for just hitting the quarterback or just hitting coming in and hitting helmet to helmets and stuff like that. Some holding calls. This, it just was not a good game defensively. Now, our offense, I thought, played good. Gibbs is a superstar. He played phenomenal, okay? I thought Jared Goff was solid. Not great, not good. He was okay. He did his thing. Too many drops. I counted 5 or 6 for sure drops by the Lions wide receivers. J-Mo, Brock Wright, Amon-Ra with a ball right off his hands, right into Javon Holland's mitts for an interception. His first as a Giant, by the way. He used to be a Dolphin. So it's offensively, I thought we were just sloppy. If it wasn't for Gibbs, we lose this football game. Plain and simple. If it wasn't for Jahmyr Gibbs, we lose this football game. He had 3 touchdowns by himself. It's 21 points right there, or 18, 6, or whatever, without the extra kicks. So that's just bottom line. The O-line is still not good. I thought Decker played well, though. Sometimes when I'm ready to throw Decker in the garbage, he comes out and has a good game. I thought they did a good game. I thought they had a really good plan against Brian Burns. I thought the Giants would move around Burns a little bit more. It looked like he was on Sewell most of the time. Brian Burns was off the score sheet. He did miss a big sack when the Lions drove down to the red zone of the Giants. Missed a huge sack. So I don't know how Goff got out of it. But it would have been his 14th of the year. But I thought all in all, they did a really good job on Brian Burns. That was the one guy that I was going to be super concerned about, him and Bobby Okereke on defense. So, but offensively, I thought it was a little bit sloppy. The running game was on point, obviously. I still think you got to use Montgomery more, but they're not. They didn't really have to this day. Gibbs was a man possessed. Too many drops, though. Goff was okay. I can't get mad at him. He's not going to run. He's not going to be a mobile guy. Everyone get that out of your head. It's just, I don't understand this fan base still clamoring for that. Oh, he just needs the run. It's not his game, people. It's not his game. He feels pressure. He's going down. He's not going to try to run away from it. The only time you're going to see him scramble, and he did scramble once in this game. He needed 8-9 yards. And you know what he did? He ran for 7. And he could have got the first down. I was kind of livid at that. I was like, oh, God. Because he just doesn't want to get hit. And I get it. He's a football player. He just doesn't want to get hit, though. We got to accept it. We really do. We can't sit here and just keep complaining about it. We'll talk about it. We can talk about it. But this is what he is. He's not a scrambler. He's not going to put his body on the line. He's not Josh Allen. He's not Lamar Jackson. He's not Patrick Mahomes. He's not those type of guys that are going to take hits. It's just not his game. He's tough enough where he takes hits on sacks because he's getting slaughtered. He's been getting slaughtered for the last second half of the season. He has been, especially the last month. He's been getting beat up. He has been. And he's still playing. He's a 6'4", 220-pound guy, whatever he is. He doesn't look it. He's not big, but he's got some girth to him a little bit, I guess. But he's got that skinny. I don't know, man. He's not. There's really no girth there. But you look at him. You don't really see the 220. You don't really see it. But that's what he is because he's got some height to him. But it's just, and this offense needs to pick it up, and the defense needs to get their head out of their ass. I don't know what the hell they were doing there. You got guys like, this fan base, the media, telling you that Kelvin Shepherd is going to go be the next LSU head coach. Kelvin Shepherd is going to be the next hot candidate head coach in the NFL. Not when you see shit like that. Not when you see stuff like that. And I love Kelvin Shepherd. I think he's doing a fantastic job. For what he has out there. There's a couple stars that we have on defense, but we don't have a pass rush. We don't have a pass rush. We don't. It doesn't exist. And don't tell me it's there because we're like second or third in sacks. The only reason why we're second or third in sacks, and I think that number has dropped in the last couple of weeks, is because we blitz heavy. We're not getting it from our front four. If you're not getting it from a Hutch, you're not getting it from nobody. Quanah Muhammad has literally taken a vacation in the last four to 5 weeks. And I knew that was going to happen. I knew that was going to happen because he's a 30-year-old journeyman. He's probably getting gashed. Okay? Gashed, whatever. He's probably getting gassed. And teams are probably maybe focusing on him a little bit too. And he's 30-year-old journeyman. He's never really, he has experience as a starter, but he's not really a starter. He's not. And I like Quanah Muhammad. I wanted the Lions to bring him back this year as a rotational piece. And now you got guys like Aleem McNeil playing defensive end, which I absolutely despise. I can't stand it. I hate it. I want him on the inside. On that sack that Hutchinson had, by the way, he bulldozes the guard. He puts the guard into another planet because he's on the inside. He bull rushes him so far that Winston has to kind of like get out of the way. Winston has to kind of go around it. You see Hutchinson coming around, Illuminor, the big mouth. He did a decent job kind of pushing him to the outside, but he never finished his block. And Hutchinson is 150%, is 150 go miles per hour for 4 quarters. He kind of let up on his pass blocking, came around the end, and got the sack on Jameis Winston. But Aleem McNeil created that. Aleem McNeil blew his guard up, blew him up, where Winston had to kind of get out of the way and come back around. It was a great play by McNeil that a lot of people are not talking about. But you should talk about that because Aleem McNeil was huge. And then the superstar, Hutchinson, finishes the job. So stop picking on guys like Hutchinson. He's not doing anything the whole game. He doesn't deserve the money. You're just sour MSU. Most of you are MSU fans. Most of you are. And you're thinking that, that you got to be like Myles Garrett. Nobody is Myles Garrett. And then people telling me that that TJ Watt is outproducing him. He's not this year. He's outproducing TJ Watt in almost every statistical category you can think of except for tackles. And I think they're tied for tackles for loss at 9 each. But Hutch doesn't have a ton of tackles. He's only got like 28, 27, 28. And Watt's got like 40-something. But Hutch is beating him in every other category. And people are trying to say that TJ Watt's having a better year. I don't think he is. He's not. Myles Garrett is just superhuman. He's an alien. But you look at his first 6-7 weeks, he didn't do much. He hasn't done much. His last 4 games, he's gone berserk. Like 7-8 sacks in his last 4 games, maybe more. It's at 18 on the season. So yeah, it might be more than that. It might be like 9. I mean, it's just he's a man possessed the last month, Myles Garrett. So stop comparing him. I know he makes a shit ton of money, but he's producing. He's making plays. You got 97 won the ticket, just tearing him apart. Mike Valente, MSU fan. Rico Beard, MSU fan. Listen to these guys. They're just tearing him apart. He's got to show up. Well, he did show up. He showed up in the biggest moment of the game. What the F do you want this guy to do? He's not going to get 3-4 sacks a game. What he did last year, when he got 7.5 sacks in like 7 games, was unheard of. Okay? Was unheard of. He was on pace to get, 40 sacks or something like that? It wasn't going to happen. You know what I mean? With the 20-something sacks, whatever it was, 700 sacks, it wasn't going to happen. You know what I mean? He broke his damn leg, man. He's playing good. He's producing. He's leading a lot in a lot of categories. He's top 10 in most categories in the league. Top 5 in some. Come on. Come on, he's doing the job done. He has zero help on the defensive line. Zero. Here's a Lee McNeil. And Lee McNeil can only do what he can do. You know what I mean? So he doesn't have another bookend over there. Alquan Muhammad, like I said, has fallen off a cliff. Josh Pascal ain't coming back. I have no idea what's going on with Ahmed Hassani, the rookie at Boise State. Davenport, your guess is as good as mine. Your guess is as good as mine. What's going on with these guys? It's just not happening. It's just not happening. There's no help over there. None. You got a Lee McNeil playing defensive end. Come on. The Lions need to start figuring out some shit, though. They got a tough game this Thursday. They got a real tough game this Thursday. It's not going to be easy. Not with this defensive front that the Packers have. They're relentless, man. Their defense is relentless. And their offense has been picking it up a little bit the last couple weeks. So this is not a good time to play them. They're starting to pick it up on offense, and that defense has got their hair on fire. And the guard play worries me. Coyote Awosika is terrible. Ratledge is a rookie. Glasgow is decent, but he's still not good. He's just not Ragnow. So if we're expecting Ragnow, what are we doing here? But he's actually been probably the second best old lineman on the team. Him and Sewell. Even Sewell is playing hurt. I thought he played really well last week or this game against the Giants, but he's been playing on one leg. He's not playing up to snuff, I don't think. He's really not. But he's still fantastic. But you listen to him talk in some interviews, he knows his play is not up to par. But he's hurt, he just won't admit it. He's hurt. He's got that shoulder, he's got that lag now with the ankle. It looks like I'm just making up excuses, man. I'm not really trying to, guys. I'm not really trying to. I'm just trying to educate some of this fan base. Man. And it's okay to talk about the flaws. It really is, man. And our flaws are on the old line, especially in the middle. If you guys don't want a minute, I don't know what to tell you. I really don't know what to tell you. I don't know what to tell you. The offense is weird. Man. And it starts with the trenches. When Goff gets bothered, the whole offense doesn't click. Luckily for Gibbs, he won this football game for us, and Hutch sealed it up. That's it, guys. Big game. We need this victory. I think we have to I feel like we almost have to win out. Chicago's not going away. Green Bay's winning as well. Minnesota's checked out. They're done. I think 4 wins. They're done. They're looking at draft picks. So we need to keep this alive. We're going to need to win 11 games. I think 11 wins. And 11 wins might not even win the division. Might just get it in the wild card. So that's it, guys. We got some issues. I think we're still a good football team. Let's go. Okay, thanks a lot. It's a long video going on 34 minutes, 33 and change right now. I appreciate it, guys. It worked. Yay, my camera phone worked. Don't forget to subscribe on the bottom right. Don't forget the notification bell up top. Don't forget to like, comment, share this out. Go Lions. Grit. Hunting season. Beat the pack. Let's go. Boom.